All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we got an update on this Khabib situation in Russia, and I want to tell you what we know, what we don't know. This is moving in the wrong direction for him, and again, I don't really know what this means as it relates to his career, because he's now having a bunch of things seized, and if you think about the direction that this has gone in terms of, there's this news that he owes these back taxes, $3.4 million, and then they seized like some of his companies, then they seized more of his stuff, and now they're down to like taking his personal belongings, because what we're talking about here is this story, okay? Like they're seizing $813,000 worth of his cars, and there's something else related to his status in Russia in this story. So we're gonna go through that. And we will go through the details also just in general of what he may do. Like, there'll be some stuff that's in the papers and then some speculation in terms of whether or not this means that for sure Khabib is in like a bad financial situation. This doesn't necessarily mean that he's in a terrible financial situation. That's not for sure what this means. This could have to do with, the Russian government knowing that he's moved money elsewhere, and that's why they're doing this, potentially. Or it could mean that he has financial problems. So, listen, dude, when it comes to finances, I always like to be as respectful as I possibly can be when I talk about this stuff, because I know, like, there is nothing that is more stressful in the world than dealing with, financial stuff. It sucks, dude. It's the worst. And especially, like, the government taking your stuff. Now, I would imagine that Khabib's not, like, devastated over losing his cars, but I don't know. I don't know him personally, but again, this whole entire situation. I did this very long video about it before, about the background where Khabib was on very solid footing in Russia and how this is kind of like deteriorated to this crazy thing where they're publicly doing this to him. So that is what we're going to get into. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I appreciate you guys doing that. I'm staying on. I'm never going to stop doing MMA no matter what. Obviously I've been doing videos on other topics, which was always honestly the end game. So, the reason why my name is Jesse on Fire, not like MMA, whatever, or like combat sports, whatever, is this was always the plan, was to expand. So it's not like an unplanned thing, but again, I always 100% am going to do combat sports content because I love it. I love it more than anything. I love it. Although potentially not quite as much as I love making fun of people who get caught with minors in ways that they shouldn't and then clowning on them. I'm just kidding. I love combat sports more than that. But look later for the video that I'm going to do about Mr. Beast's, sidekick, Chris Tyson. You may remember him from such incidents as he's the manly one with the buck knife. And then he's like, you know what? Never mind. I'm a girl now. And everyone was like, say what? And you flip, right? So you already know, like, maybe something weird going on. Oh, turns out that he is a straight up child predator. Okay? Not a joke, not hyperbole. That is what's happened. He is now he is permanently gone from Mr. Beast. And there's a lot of shady stuff. It looks like, this thing could go very bad for them. But anyway, look for that video. And again, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be interviewing Edward Byers from SEAL Team 6, Master Chief of SEAL Team 6 later also. So if you only look at my combat sports stuff, I promise I'm going to have some really fun stuff coming up here in the next couple days. That'll be good too. And obviously we have the UFC this weekend, so I'll be jam-packed full of content. So, all right. So this is the story that we're talking about. So I want to go through the details of this really quick, and then talk about what this probably means as it relates to Khabib. So Khabib lands in trouble as $813,000 worth of car collection seized, with UFC legend owing $3.4 million to the Russian Federal Tax Service, as per reports. Now, before we even say this, like, bottom line, in the most selfish possible way to look at this story, what do we hope happens? Okay? Like, what's the outcome? As much as I would love for Khabib to not be going through this, because I don't want, I would never wish this on anybody. But, if it's like, well, if it is happening, what benefit could there be for us? It's like, come back, fight. You can smash your way to financial freedom again, just like that. 3.4 million? Dude, Dana's like 3.4, dude. You want me to cut you a check right now? You know? But again, I'm not convinced that this is real financial turmoil. It could be, could not be. You know what I mean? Anywho, but hopefully that's what happens, right? All right, so it says Khabib has landed in trouble with legal issues biting back. Former UFC champion is reportedly in debt to the Russian government, 3.4. We know all that. And we already knew that the Russian Federal Tax Services had frozen his bank accounts associated with various business, and now he has had his cars taken away. So on the 24th of, that's like today, man, dude, this is rough, dude. And his legal troubles with the Russian government grew. He had no choice but to say goodbye to his prized possessions. His collection included a Ferrari California T, a Mercedes-Benz AMG GTS, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, BMW 7 Series, Toyota Land Cruiser, and oh man, they took all his cars. They took all his cars. You know, like if they're taking a Toyota Tacoma, that's not like just his luxury cars. They're straight up taking all his cars. Man. In addition, a family house in Dagestan has also been seized. Wow, dude. They took they put his family on the street there. That's crazy. I'm sorry, that's the first I was reading about that. As per championship rounds, total value of the seized assets amounting to $900,000. This makes a small dent, but Nurmagomedov still owes upwards of $2 million to the Russian government. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. Now, I will say, like, there is this other side to the conversation of, you know, where it's like, if he really is in financial stress, like, why doesn't he just come back? I mean, there's another side. There's the other side of that conversation, which is like, there has to be some pride involved there. If you're him, you know, if people know, there's something about people knowing that the reason that you're coming back is because you have financial problems that I would imagine is probably pretty challenging for people. But again, I am not convinced that that is what's happening. But if that is the case, you know, if all of a sudden it's like Khabib's coming back and everyone's like, oh, he's got financial problems. I mean, if it was me, I would just like literally just completely stay off the internet. There is not one single benefit to a fighter whose goal it is to come back and win a fight of being on the internet. Bottom line, like literally none. Get a flip phone. You know, get a flip phone, talk to your family, text message your family, have an iPad that only connects to the internet when you want to FaceTime, you know, and just stay off the internet. People are going to say whatever they want to say and you just don't look, dude. It serves no purpose other than to distract you. Just get out of there and let them say their shit. You know what I mean? It was the Russian media outfit MASH who was the first one to reveal Nurmagomedov's tax trouble with the proceeding beginning on July 5th. But little did the mixed martial arts artist know how tough it was going to be for his ventures and automobile collection. He had his businesses seized. The Federal Tax Service began looking into the matter long before Nurmagomedov announced his retirement from the realm of mixed martial arts. Oh, wow. And then the investigation flared up after some irregularities in Dagestani's financial statements were revealed. Rumors that Nurmagomedov used these funds to invest in businesses in the UAE, among other countries. There you go, dude. There you go. So his money is elsewhere. Okay, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's rich just in the United Arab Emirates, right? Amid all this hubbub, there are also reports of him being granted UAE citizenship where the residents have tax benefits. So that's probably what's going on, you know, is that he moved his money out of Russia, invested over there, and like, you know, the Russian government's like, are you serious? You took all after what we did for you? Now think about that, dude. Think about that for a second, and then we'll read the rest of this. You know, if you're Vladimir Putin, right, and you gift him a property worth $20 million, supposedly, you know, per Dana and other reports, and then Khabib turns around and takes that money and invests over there in the UAE. I mean, again, honestly, I don't know if that makes any difference, but it's possible that is what, you know, part of the reason they're like, are you serious? Like we showered you with support, showered you with property, and then you take your money and you go over there. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea if that's what's driving it, but like, I'm still just trying to get to the bottom of like why this is happening. Because again, I would be shocked if 3.4 million is a number that he could not pay if he wanted to. But who knows? I don't know. Without a doubt, the Dagestani led a simple life, according to the beloved UFC commentator Joe Rogan. Even though Nurmagomedov was pretty rich, he chose to drive a Toyota truck. What are you talking about? Okay, yeah, he drove a Toyota truck, but they just seized a Ferrari, like 3 Mercedes. So, like, I mean, what? Nurmagomedov's travels have garnered quite a bit of attention, and many fans mocking he would have to come out of retirement to make money okay, I am not mocking him at all, for the record, nor would I ever mock him under any circumstances. I'm just saying it's rare when you kind of hear like, oh, person with financial problem and known ability to just turn around and go make $15 million. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's a lot more to it than just like that, but like, I mean, if the UFC had Khabib's comeback headlining a card, especially against Conor, can you imagine what that would be worth to them? Anyway, Nurmagomedov's troubles have garnered quite a bit of attention, yada, yada. So Conor McGregor never leaves a chance. Yeah, so they're just saying Conor always talks shit. Let's see here. So it says he made fun of his former opponent's financial situation. Broken on the run. If you see him, tell him push-ups for cash. Okay, that's a little bit funny, you have to admit, dude. Like, only because you remember when Khabib was making the homeless guy do push-ups for cash? That's pretty clever, dude. I will admit that's a pretty clever tweet, dude. So according to a few reports, Nurmagomedov has taken Emirati citizenship right after he was troubled with the taxes. He has invested a huge sum in the Middle East. There we go. And he's built a pretty impressive portfolio in the United Arab. There we go, dude. Yeah. Okay. So bottom line, this is what I figured. Wealthy over there in the UAE. Weird situation though, where, I mean, in all honesty, dude, like if I'm at Khabib's level, people are all, he's broke. I'd be like, okay, broke. Like, I wouldn't give honestly, I would not care at all if people said that. It's like, oh, I'm broke. All right. Okay. Like I would I would prefer for people not to think that I'm broke so that I don't have people like making fun of me online. But at the same time, like, what your money is. You know what I mean? Like there's, at the end of the day, money serves a single purpose in the world, which is like for your family, make sure that you have as much as possible so you can take care of your family and do the things that you want to do. If it's there and you get to do the things you want to do, you think any of these people are going to say a single thing in the world to your face? They see you, they're going to be all, Khabib or Jesse on fire. Oh my gosh. The same people that are all broke ass. You're such a broke ass, Jesse on fire. We all know you're broke. You're bankrupt and you are pathetic. Your wife is ugly. Your kids are stupid. You're broke, and everybody knows it. You're like, all right. And then you're out in public, go, Jesse, Khabib, ah! So, again, the internet, who cares? You know what I mean? But, again, it's such a weird situation. Like, it's weird if you're like, kind of like an international person. You live over here, but your, home base was over here. And then all of a sudden your home base like is you're at war with you financially. You're kind of like, what? Your family still lives there? Like, that's a weird situation. I don't know how I solve that. Because a thing like that, it doesn't seem like if you just pay the taxes, then all of a sudden you're on good standing in Russia. You know what I mean? Like they clearly are unhappy with him, and he's a very, very, very public figure. Russia's not a good, that's not a good place to be on bad standing with the government at all. They throw people in the slammer all the time, Not that they don't do that here now, which is kind of weird. But, we've apparently gone back to the old-fashioned way where they just will shoot you on national television. So there's that. Anyway, speaking of that, there's going to be a video I'm putting out today also about the body cam footage from the roof. So... it's just the story that just keeps on giving. Anyway, love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.